Hey, Dave Billings here with your end of the year market update for 2024. What's going on right now has almost everything to do with interest rates and the current news market cycle driving with what's happening in real estate. As predicted, election fears and typical seasonal slowdowns have everybody kind of clinched up tight, not diving into the real estate market, not taking a lot of action. I think people are spending more time out in their wood shops doing projects for Christmas time, like I have been, or busy doing other projects or hanging out with family rather than trying to do real estate transactions. But let's take a look at the numbers first. There isn't a lot to really see in the numbers, so I'll keep this part short this year. Median home sale price dropped just a little from October to November, from $560,000 to $550,000. Where we saw the real change, where everybody slowed down, was the number of new listings. We went from 385 new listings in October to only 219 in November. And while we typically see a seasonal slowdown, that's a lot more than we've probably seen in the last couple of years. Days on market changed a little bit. We went from 16 days on market to an average of 21, and the months of available inventory changed a little as well. We went from 2.1 months of inventory to 1.8 months of inventory. That's just a slight change, but it does show that even though everybody was clinched up and focusing on other things, we probably did close a few more deals than we saw new listings hitting the market. Now here's what actually matters. Most of you have probably heard that the Fed dropped interest rates by 1/4 of a point last week. At the same time, what you might not have heard is that the 30-year mortgage industry responded by raising rates 1/4 of a point to 3/8 of a point. Now, why is that? You did save 1/4% interest on your credit cards, not on 30-year mortgage rates. Well, there's a reason for that. And the reason is that the 30-year mortgage market industry tends to respond more to what the Fed says during their announcement than what the Fed actually does during their announcement. So as they were dropping interest rates by 1/4 point, the Fed noted that the economy has been more resilient than they thought, and they changed their predictions. Last year, they had been predicting quicker and possibly deeper cuts to interest rates, and they said that their projection now is that in 2025, they'll probably be a bit slower than they thought to continue to drop interest rates. The other wild card that we have going on is events in the current news media cycle, and a lot of people have been asking me questions about what tariffs are going to do to real estate prices. We don't really know for sure. We don't really know if these tariffs are going to be implemented, but you don't have to think real deep and hard when you figure we buy a lot of lumber from Canada, right? We get a lot of supplies from overseas, right? So if we start paying a 25% tariff on all of that lumber that's coming down from Canada, it's highly unlikely to bring home prices down, because building starts and building projects are going to cost a lot more money. So what does that actually mean to all of you with your real estate decisions? One thing that it probably means is that you ought not to be counting on home prices to be dropping significantly in 2025. You still ought to be making your decisions about buying and selling houses based on when you actually need to buy and sell, and consulting with a really good realtor to make sure that you can get the best deal on your buy and sale transactions with the best terms. As always, if you have questions about your real estate needs, feel free to reach out to me directly. I can be reached anytime you'd like. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next year.